Okay, great. So this a nice moment in which we have in here a colleague of mine. He's a teacher as well as me. And well, for me, it's a privilege to have you here for this interview that we're gonna do for the course Colombian Education of my university. So I would like you to start introducing yourself first.
Hey Eliezer, my name is Javier. I've been teacher for 4 years, and it's really a pleasure to be here for me.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I want to thank you for being here. And I just want to tell you that I would like to ask you a few questions. These questions are regarding bilingual education here in Colombia, so we can have
Okay.
like your insight about this. Okay, I want to start with the first question, which is what obstacles do you believe that exist for the implementation of the bilingual education policy in Colombia, particularly in public schools?
Mm, I think that one of the main obstacle is the lack of resources like books, technology, and also trained teachers. For example, in my experience, some classrooms don't even have enough materials for all the students. Also, I think that large classes and limited time make it harder for students to practice the language. I have also seen that some teachers feel they need more training to teach English effectively. And also, if you take a look in rural or low resources contexts, students usually don't have exposure to English outside the classroom, which makes the learning process really slower too.
Yeah, that's totally true. But I would like them, based on what you just said, I would like to build more on that, and that pretty much takes me to the second question, which is then based on what you just said, what do you think that has been the outcome of the bilingual initiatives in Colombia in order to enhance a students' English skills?
Okay, I think that the results have been mixed because some students, especially in private schools, have improved a lot. However, in my experience, in public school contexts, many students still finish with a basic level and struggle to communicate in real situations. Uh, these initiatives have helped increase interest in learning English. Still, I have noticed that without enough practice and support, students don't reach higher levels. So this shows that implementation needs to be really stronger.
Okay, so that would mean kind of a change that must be done, right?
Correct.
And well, so that also brings me to an important point, is especially in our context talking about Colombia. Do you believe that every student in Colombia have equal access to English instruction or English learning, and why?
Not really. Not all the students have the same access. For example, private schools often have better teachers and more English classes, while public schools may have fewer resources uh, for these kind of situations. From what I've seen, some students depend only on school to learn English, while others can practice English outside the classroom. This creates a big difference in their progress. In class, you can clearly notice these gaps.
Yeah, that's right. That's that. In that case, we can see that there's no balance between public and private schools, and that's why that is the duty of the government to come into the game and make the things to be more equal in our country. And thank you for that answer. Now, from a teacher perspective, which is really important as well in the classroom, how will the basic learning rights of English that we know here in Colombia, those basic learning rights of English assist teachers with regard to student outcomes by grade level?
I think they help teachers know what students should learn at each grade. In my experience, they are very useful for planning lessons and also to setting clear goals. They are also help me to check if my students are learning what they should at their level. And this makes assessment easier and even more organized. Overall, they give like structure to the teaching process.
I like that. I like that. Let's move now to the curriculum part. You know that the curriculum is what guides a teacher and his teaching, what he
Yes.
must teach to all the students in a private or public school. The same for both. So based on that, let me ask you this: what is the potential value of a proposed English curriculum for secondary schools? Should all teachers have the discretion to utilize this curriculum when teaching?
Um, a curriculum gives you a clear structure and goals for teaching. I think that having a guide helps a lot when planning classes. However, teachers should have this flexibility to adapt for each situation. For example, sometimes maybe I need to change some activities depending on my students uh, for each level or for interests because every group is always different. So adapting the curriculum always makes learning more effective.
That's totally true, and I couldn't agree more. I think that we should always, of course, implement the curriculum because that's our guidance, right? But that is when it comes into place the fact that we as teachers have autonomy over the class and that we know. I mean, it's not the curriculum, but it is us the ones that know what it is better for the student, right? So based on that, there must be, as I had said before, there must be a balance between the two. You must use the curriculum, but also it is necessary to use your autonomy, right, based on the needs of the student. And well, let's now that we're talking about that, the fact that all children, all students learn in a different way, how can teachers employ technology to improve the engagement of the students and success while learning English?
Uh, I think that nowadays teachers can use videos, apps, also online games to make the classes more interesting. In my classes, I have seen that students used to participate more when I use interactive tools. Technology also really helps a lot students to hear real English and even to practice more. For example, using videos or listening activities improves a lot their learning process. So I think that it makes the class more dynamic.
Yeah, that's true. So we are in a globalized world in which technology is something in which we must keep moving forward because technology is advancing constantly even more throughout the years, and we cannot be left behind. I mean, we gotta go with technology. um, it is true that there are some disadvantages of technology in schools and in the learning of the students, but I think that since those are things that cannot be like controlled, then we must use it in order for the advantage of the students in this
Yeah,
case, right?
yeah.
And yeah, let me ask you something else.
Okay.
What types of innovative digital resources or approaches could teachers use in English today?
Uh, as I mentioned before, tools like apps, language apps, online quizzes, also videos could be really helpful. In my classes, students really like and enjoy platforms like Kahoot because I mean they think like they are playing a game, you know. So I have also used videos and short speaking activities, and students used to respond very well to this kind of activities too. So when they create their own content like short dialogues, they become more engaged to the classes and really uh, confident of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that aids and like visual aids that you can display on the whiteboard or on a screen are very essential in order to catch the attention of the students. That's for sure. Taking into consideration that students might not want to write a sentence on their notebooks, but they might probably want to participate if we are playing a game, right? Showing something on the whiteboard due to a video beam and so on, because that just catches their attention.
Yeah,
And
totally.
considering that all students learn in a different way, the fact that how students are more engaged in class due to visual aids, due to implementing technology inside the class. Let's talk about those children in which we must also apply the inclusiveness inside the classrooms. How can teachers use their pedagogical practices in order to support the students that has or that have a special needs while participating in their learning of English at the same time with all of their classroom?
I think that we as teachers can use simple instructions, images, and repetition. In my experience, visual aids really help students to understand better. I also have tried to adapt activities and give this extra support when the students need, and also creating a safe and supportive environment is really key for them as students. So when because I mean when they feel comfortable, they are more willing to participate and to move forward in the language.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I ran out of questions. I don't have any other questions to ask you. I appreciate your answers. Those are really helpful, and I hope that they can be valuable not only to me as they were to me, that can be valuable to everyone who can watch this interview. So I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in the next occasion.
I hope so too. Thank you very much for the space, Ellie. Have a good day.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.